Good morning, everybody. In our previous classes, we were studying about the Nazism and the rise of Hitler. We have already studied about the birth of Weimar Republic, how this came into existence when there was a war going on. That was the First World War, where Germany was defeated. It had to give war loans to fight. It became, first it was a creditor, but now it had become a debtor. So during the time of Treaty of Versailles 1919, Germany lost his overseas colonies. Then he had to pay. He was blamed for the World War. Germany was forced to pay billions of rupees. Media glorified the trench life. Then we had studied about the radicalism and economic crisis, that formation of Communist Party of Germany by Spartacists, but it was crumbled down by the Weimar Republic. Germany fought wars and was made to pay on gold. There was a hyperinflation in crisis in Germany. USA introduced the Davis plan, and bailout means to pay the money that Germany had to give. But now this was the time of the years of depression. Now you understand the word depression when there is a lot of pressure. So this was a time when Germany was facing the worst economic crisis. In this country, a lot of jobs was lost. Unemployment reached unprecedented level, means very high level. Even in India, we can say recently we are facing such type of problem. You are listening to news and all. We find that a lot of jobs have been lost because of privatization. The government jobs are being replaced. But let's see about the Germany. It says the years between 1924 and 1928 saw some stability. You can say that market production was not much, you can say, but it was not low also. German investment and industrial recovery were totally dependent on short term loans, largely from the US Because last class also we said the USA was ready to pay all the loans, give money to Germany. This support that was given by USA, this support was withdrawn when the Wall Street exchange crashed in 1929. Now, Wall Street Exchange is a place where this share business is being done. Okay. On one single day, that was 24th of October, 13 million shares were sold. This was the start of the great economic depression, and known as years of depression or depression, a great depression. It's as this year, after this year, over the next 3 years, now it says it started with the year 1929. So next 3 years means 1930, 1931, 1932. So you can say between 1929 and 1932, the national income of the USA fell by half. So whatever the amount that was being earned by USA, it became half. Factories shut down. Export fell. Farmers were badly hit, and speculators withdrew their money from the market. As I said, either factories shut down, export fell. You can see in our country also, where the industries are being shut out due to the pandemic that is COVID-19. After March, when there was a lockdown, a lot of things have been shut down. We are not able to come back, and many other things are also happening when things are being sold out. like railways, airports, etc. etc. The effect of this recession in the US economy were felt worldwide. The effect happens everywhere. Even in India, we are having where the market is going low, down and down. The German the German economy was worst hit by the economic crisis. Now, what happened during this time when already said the factories were shut down, export fell, no production was done. So people, the businessmen, industrialists, they were expelling or they were removing their workers from jobs. So we can say that workers lost their jobs or even if they were working in an industry doing some work or were paid reduced wages. During this pandemic time, the governments are demanding the employees to pay their one-day wages as COVID tax, just to manage whatever the expenditure has been done by the government in the medical research and all is to be recovered somehow. The number of unemployed touched means went high up, and unprecedented 6 million. So during this time, that was from 1924 to 28, it was average, but after 1929, 24th October 1929, from that time till next 3 years, 1932, 30, 31, 32, this time in between these 3 years, there was a lot of workers, who had to leave jobs because industries were being shut down, factories were being shut down, and this number rose to 6 million people. Now, as these jobs disappeared, the youth took to criminal activities and total despair became commonplace. Means people were not having any jobs, they were not able to earn money, So they took to criminal. Now you can, what activities come under criminal? You can say theft, murder, robbery, and even commonplace means everywhere you could see such type of things. Like as we again going to talk about India in today's time, when we are looking at these things, when you are listening to news, a lot of things are not shown, but on the background there are things happening. When railway people are losing their job, when bank people are losing their job, factories and working places have been reduced. Politically too, the Weimar Republic was fragile. The government was unable to control the things. The Weimar Constitution had some inherent defects. Now, these defects, you can say, which made it unstable and vulnerable to dictatorship. So you can see dictatorship simply means when one person gives order, everyone has to follow. We are in a democratic country where people listen to the thoughts of people, and government, after listening, acts accordingly. But in dictatorship, the thoughts are neglected, and whatever the person who is in power thinks is right, follows it, gives commands, commands the people. Another defect was Article 48, in which gave the president the powers to impose emergency, suspend civil rights, and rule by decree. Decree means just giving orders to the civilians or the people of the country. This was another defect during the years of depression in the government. Yet the crisis could not be managed. So once the government is running, if it is unable to manage the system to run the government, and the country, it is really impossible for the government to stay in the next term. People lost confidence in the democratic parliamentary system, which seemed to offer no solution. So the Germany had to face a lot of problems.